Hello everyone. Happy Saturday. So, yeah, we got a couple of things to do tonight. We started on pixel art yesterday, and we got a nice plan, you can see on the side here, for some of the things we'll need, for some of the basics. So I think plan is we want to try and get, we got these 5 pretty much done, and so that just leaves the rest of these. I think that's 12 left here. Yeah, so that's 12 more pieces that we'll need for now. And from there, we'll kind of see how things go. I don't know how long this is going to take for just doing the pixel art. I can be a little finicky with that sort of thing, so we'll have to see, I guess. Yeah, so let's just kind of dive right into it. So the stuff we did last time, we did the fork, we had the spoon, and we made the knife. And we also had, whoops. So we also had the, you can see kind of in the top right here, we had sprites for some of the glasses. So we have the small and the large. I think I want to touch these up a little bit. Maybe do a couple quick touch-ups, not too much, but just enough to make it look a little bit nicer. And then we can move on to making some new stuff. So like, for example, like what happens if we kind of do something like that? Does that kind of detract away from it, or? Because I was trying to match up with the lighting with the fork here. So I think we'll kind of, what if we just kind of zoom out a little bit, see. Yeah, I think that should be fine. Alright, anyways. So the only other thing I wanted to do to kind of touch up some of these is kind of do a little bit with these two, because it looks a little flat with the with like this sort of layer here. So I was thinking just kind of take this and then do a little something like that, maybe. Like how does that look here? Kind of hard to say. What if we did something like this? Okay, so that's a good way to do the shortcuts, just by using the mouse there. I want to make like a little highlight, basically. Or do something to make it kind of stand out a little bit more. Oh, another thing I was thinking about doing was just making like, what was it? Kind of doing something like this, maybe. I don't know if that makes it any better or not. Trying to gauge off of the little piece on the side there. Hmm. Maybe just something like that. I think that's fine. And it's a nice little touch too. So I think that'll kind of make it a little bit better. Then we can do the same sort of thing here. Kind of looks a little weirder in that one though, because it's kind of just stretched out. Maybe to fix that, we'll just bring it up towards the front here. Or towards the top, I mean. I think that looks okay. Alright, so that kind of takes care of that. So let's take a look. Also, there was this little feature here to kind of align to center of grid. So I think that's gonna be pretty handy. So like, if we do this, and I think it's then we like move it off to the side. Uh-oh. What did I do? Okay, let's maybe not mess with that. Anyways, let's work on this a little bit. So actually, maybe what we'll do is we'll copy this, and then we'll just kind of edit this. So the next thing we need is wine glass. So basically all we're gonna do is we're just gonna kind of get rid of this. I don't know if we're gonna need the top or not, but I'm just gonna use the bottom. And we'll just kind of do something along these lines. And maybe something like that. Kind of lined up better than I thought it would. Kind of looks more like a goblet or something than actually a wine glass. Hey, Ludicrous Devil, how are you doing? Yeah, the more I look at this, the more it's like looking closer like the Holy Grail or something. In terms of shape, anyways. Alrighty, so then we'll just kind of fix this up a little bit. Alright, so we'll just kind of get rid of some of this stuff. Try to save as much as I can. Well, I guess we don't really need a lot of this center piece. Alright, and then just get rid of all this. And we'll kind of flesh out the rest. I guess we can kind of fill in some of these a bit. Whoops. Not sure how I feel about the bottom part of this thing. Maybe I can add a little bit more color to parts of this. Maybe something like that. Oh, actually, maybe we'll cover that up. That might not be too bad. Because if we look at the kind of like the preview over here, makes it a little yeah, I think that looks pretty good actually. I think the little shine helps a bit too. Okie doke. So that takes care of that. So next up is going to be our mug. Kind of tempted to just kind of keep it similar here. Kind of reuse that. Maybe we'll copy this. And we'll just put that at the end, and then we'll just modify this one. Just so we have the same kind of perspective. So maybe we'll make this a little bit bigger. Whoa, okay. Well, we can always just copy it. That's all right. Alrighty, so yeah, I was copying and pasting it. Oh, I see. I had to press Control V there. So I don't really need this part. Okay, I was about to delete this layer, but I don't want to do that. I just want to get rid of everything on this layer for this particular one. That's what I want. There we go. Okay. So we don't need that layer at all for this one. Maybe this could be a little bit different. Might have to adjust the height, but what about this? Whoops. That's not too bad. So maybe we'll try that for this particular one. Okay, so we have that. So, okay, so that does center that, which is good. And let's add a little handle to this. Well, I guess we need to kind of... Yeah, no, this is fine. Maybe it's not far out enough. Let's drag this a little bit further back. Uh-oh. I gotta remember to press enter there, I guess. And let's actually bring that a little up more and a little bit down more. That's looking all right. Let's see. Maybe that wasn't so bad for the... But what happens if we just kind of take this and put this here instead? Ooh. Oops. That's okay. We can just kind of put this where we need it to be. We can actually just copy it here. Doo-doo. Yeah, that's kind of... Yeah, okay, there were 2 pixels there. This could probably go down a bit. then we can just do that. Yeah, okay, I think that's good. Now we need to color. Let's choose a color. What color should we make this mug? I'm thinking beige. Something like this, maybe? I mean, because clearly everyone likes beige. That's not beige, that's yellow. Oops. Well, so much for that plan. Kind of like brownish, maybe? Something like that for a base color. And if we made this a little bit darker, it's not bad there. Maybe we could even do like actually, I think this is good for a base color, and then we can do a little something to like maybe make this this color the kind of a lighter color here. I don't know, actually. Maybe we can make it a little like something like this. And then maybe something like down here for like this sort of area. Oh, that looks kind of nice. Maybe something like that for some highlight. Hmm. What would happen if we just kind of removed that? That's not bad. Hmm. Maybe we could even have like a little like gibberish stuff. Like, hey, it's writing. Or maybe even like something like that. Just say like, oh, it's not just a mug, it's a mug with writing. Sure, we'll go with that. Okay, so that's... I like how that came out. Oh, and actually... Center, so that's what... Oh, hold on a sec, that's... Centered? I guess it is technically. But let's, maybe drag this a little more over there. Yeah, okay. What should we do next? Let's do a small plate. Drinking a lot of water today. Not that that's a bad thing. A lot of people don't drink enough water as it is. Because staying hydrated is important. So the small plate and the large plate are going to be pretty easy, I think. They're just circles. So let's just let's just use the circle tool. Something like that, maybe. I guess we might also want to think if we need to make like a bigger icon. Alright, and then we'll just kind of do something like this. Or maybe like a little darker there. That way we can use white to kind of, or actually, I guess we should use, if we want to try and keep this stylistically similar, we want to try and use black only for the outer outlines. So like we might want something like that instead. Maybe even a little darker. And then we'll do this kind of color for some of this stuff. Use white here for some of the highlights. Ooh, excuse me. I wonder if maybe we need to like switch some of this around a bit. I don't know how I feel about this. I mean, it's just a circle. The shape is fine. It's just the way I'm trying to shade it doesn't make it look right. What if I just get rid of some of this? I guess that's not so bad. Maybe a little more like that. I don't think that really made such a huge difference, but I don't know. Maybe it looks a little bit nicer this way. Yeah, okay, I think this looks good enough. So let's make a new layer, or new frame rather. Make a big old plate there. We'll just do something like this. I'll do the same sort of thing. Oh, wait, let's... Yeah, okay. Where are you? There you are. And we'll do the same kind of trick over here. Yo, Charlie Truck Mex, thank you for the follow. It's kind of came out of nowhere. But yeah, definitely appreciate it. And actually that gets us to that follower goal. Nice. So thank you very much for that. It's very much appreciated. Okie doke. That was a nice surprise. Alright, so let's see. So now we need some of this stuff. And we kind of want to... Oh, I see. We kind of want to mirror what we did over there. I think this should be all right. Can always go back to it later if needed. But I think that's kind of good for what we're going for. All right. So I think I'm gonna get a little bit more water. Be right back. And then we're gonna start on some of the soup bowls and stuff. So yep, I'll be right back. Alrighty, got my liquid ice. Okie doke. So let's get rolling with this soup bowl. What should we do for this? Actually, something to consider is that we might want to think about doing a little bit of like almost color coordination. So like some of the stuff that we have over here, it's kind of gray for like silverware, and we have kind of like grayish for the plates. So if we kind of get if you notice, like all the silverware and all of the the mug, the small plate, the large plate, those are all ones that are going to be using the heavy scrubbers. So it might be good from like a design perspective to get the color coordination lined up a bit with the type of object you're going to be using these for. So like as you can see, all of the glasses, they all have the same kind of they all have the same kind of color to them, and they all need the same type of scrubber to use. So maybe that's something to kind of consider. Just from a design perspective, it's a little bit better to plan these types of things ahead of time. Okay, so let's get the soup bowl sorted out. So we want it to be kind of like the, well, it's got to be circular, right? So let's get that rolling. So maybe we'll do something like, that looks pretty good. And then we'll just kind of round it out. So here's what I'm going to do, and I think it's going to work out kind of nice. I'm just going to do that. And then I'll just erase some of this stuff. Whoops, I wanted to do that in black. That worked out pretty nice. I'll have to remember to use that in the future. All right, there's our soup bowl. Just gotta kind of, maybe we'll use the same kind of color scheme for this. So let's that. And then let's, what are we gonna do? This is the kind of darker shade. Something like that. Maybe something like that? Well, we'll fix it in a sec. So, like the mug we had earlier, kind of, oh, actually, oh, nope, I was wrong. That should be there. So, the mug we had earlier is kind of had this, just it's dark on the inside, but I don't think we want that completely for the bowl. So, first thing we'll do, perhaps, is just kind of make a nice edge there. And we'll leave it like that. And then we'll have maybe something like that. Maybe? It kind of looks odd to me, though. I think this is okay with the bottom part. Just not really sure what else we should be kind of adding in. Like, I don't think that helps it at all. Maybe we'll do this. I think that still looks pretty good. Maybe a little... Really just don't know what to do with this part here. Kind of looks like a little face almost. The little eyes here. I'm just like. I think that's good. That's good for what we got. And all these are lining up as well to kind of keep a consistent expectation without it, you really need the player needing to really think much. Which is kind of nice, actually. Okay, let's try the salad bowl next. So for salad bowls, they're a little bigger. So maybe we'll do something like well, maybe not that big. Maybe something like that. Oh, did we center this thing? Okay. So we want to make sure this is like a wicker one. So that's going to be important. Ooh, excuse me. So this needs to be not as deep. Maybe just something like that. Kind of like low, well, not low, but shorter, and you know, like a salad bowl. So we want this to be brown, because we want to signify, hey, this is a little different. So where do we want to... Where do we want to do this at? Trying to find the right color can be a little tricky. Alright, I think that's good. Yeah, we we want the stuff that's not like on the edge here. We don't want like that bright. What's the lightest we want? Probably something like that. And then we'll have a darker one for the main pieces. And we'll go even darker for some of the other stuff. All right. I like how the other one came out with the kind of like the bowl edge. Kind of something like that. Yeah. Because like that came out pretty nice. So I want to make sure to try doing something kind of similar with this. I kind of like that, how it was before. Well... Well, that's kind of nice, actually. And I think that's pretty good for this one, too. Oh. Oops. Yeah, I think that's pretty nice. Alright, I think now would be a good time to save, actually. Save that on my computer. Cool, and... yeah, and let's... Alright, just wanted to make sure that was, you know, saved. Just don't want... Because it's important to save your progress. It's a pretty important thing to make sure to do. No one wants to lose hours of work just from not pressing a button. Alrighty. Next up is the spatula. So let's... This is gonna be using like the... Ooh. Yep, I was going to be using the heavy spatula. So this is going to be kind of like the same color we're going to use as like the fork and the knife and all that. I kind of want to make sure these are at least somewhat to scale. So maybe maybe we'll do something like we'll just kind of move this down here. We can actually, I think all those colors are still being used here. Yep, don't worry about that. So we're gonna have, I'm gonna try one more time doing this diagonally. Okay, maybe not. Let's try it and see how it looks compared to some of the other stuff. It's gonna be kind of like the grip. Oops. Maybe what we'll do is we'll take this, all that, make it a little more kind of thinner. I think that'll be okay. Maybe, okay, yeah, don't go worry too much about some of this stuff. did we do this stuff? So like the fork. All right. Yeah, we did those little grooves. I think we'll do something similar here. That makes it look a little nicer. Okay, so I think what we're gonna do, actually I was gonna choose red, which is convenient. Make a nice red handle here. A little lighter. And then we'll choose a bit of a darker. Yeah, I think that's pretty good. Although, actually, maybe just something like that. Yeah, I think that's all right. Yeah, okay. Whew. So we already did 7 right now. So we just have 5 more to go. We're over halfway done with the stuff here, which is good. So we just need these 5. And then we'll see what to do in a bit. Alright, so let's try... So these are all... Actually, I just noticed this here. These are all the ones that require the steel wool. So we want to try and kind of color code them, make them seem a little darker. So let's make let's make a big circle. Well, we need a small pot, so maybe not as big. That's red. Something like that, and then something like that just to drop it down. It'll be a little easier if I do circle tool here, I think. So actually maybe what we'll do something like that. I think that's okay. Yeah, it looks like pot shaped. So what we'll do from here, so we're going to use, so this is the darker gray that we had before. We're going to make this the base. We're going to make this kind of like the highlight color. Well, maybe even the highlight color should be not as light as that. Yeah, something like that, maybe even. And we'll take this color and we'll make it a little darker. We'll use that for like the shadow. And actually, they tend to have like steel on the bottom there, so we'll kind of, yeah, okay, that's good. Something like that. And we just need a handle now. Maybe we'll make that black. I don't want to put it on the sides because I want it to be consistent with the larger pot we're going to have to do in a little bit. So let's just kind of put that right over here. And maybe make something like that. That way I only have to draw one of the handles and not two. Hooray for laziness / efficiency. Well, it'll work. Okay. So that is the smaller pot. So let's take a look at the larger one. Yeah, okay, I just wanted to make sure I was doing them all on the right layer. I want to make this one pretty big. think that's good. Maybe a little bit more shifted. Just a smidge. Maybe we'll just take this, kind of move it there, and we'll just, yeah, that should be good. And we'll do the same kind of thing. So we'll take this. It's a little hard to see because it's on kind of a grayish background. So we'll take that. There, now it's a different gray. Oh, yeah, sorry. I was just kind of zoning out a bit, I think. How's it going, 1,000 Hearts? This is what happens sometimes. I get, like, intensely focused on something. So, yeah, thanks for stopping by the stream. Hope you like what you see. We're just doing some pixel art for a Game Jam game. So, let's take some of this stuff. Kind of flesh this out a bit. Okay, and then we'll take this and we'll do the same sort of thing for the... Ooh, whoops. Same sort of thing that we did for the other one. Just kind of stick this on the bottom. And we'll make that kind of shadow. Whoops. Sorry your connection isn't working very well for you. And thank you. I'm trying my best. I don't consider myself to be a pixel artist, but they're turning out okay, I think. Well, thanks for stopping by for the short time you were here. And I hope you have a nice night. Oh, maybe I could do a little something here. Whoops. I think it was a good idea putting the handle in the center. I think it kind of makes it stand out a bit more. In fact, maybe we can just even copy this. And then we'll just make it a little bit longer. And maybe just drag it up a little more. Oh, actually, what we can do is just do that, and then do that. I want to see what this looks like again without that sort of piece. It does kind of look a little flat. I guess that'll do. Okay. So 3 more to do. The small pan, the large pan, and the skillet. Well, maybe we don't need the skillet. Because let's see, we have... 3, 4, 5, and then we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Well, we already have it on the list. I'm just getting a little tired is all, but you know, we might as well keep it because we're just going to add to this list later anyway, so there's no point in taking something off when we're probably going to put it back in. Alrighty. Let's take a look at... Alright, we wanted the small pan next. Actually, I think I might take a 5-minute break just to kind of recharge, because this sort of task can, especially if I'm focusing too much on it, it can be kind of a lot to kind of use up a lot of mental energy trying to strain this stuff out. So I think I'm gonna take like a quick 5-minute break. And then we'll get back to doing the last few bits of pixel art. And then we'll kind of see where to go from there. So I will be right back. And, you know, like I said, we'll do those last 3 after the break. So stay tuned. Alrighty, I'm back. Spent the time wisely and paid my cat tax. Yep, just had to... I also wanted to check in on my cat because he threw up earlier. But he's also a cat, so that's nothing new. Hey, Ludicrous Devil. Yeah, I guess we got back at around the same time. It's going pretty good for the art, so we got a lot of stuff done. So we got this mug. I think I can, yeah. We got a small plate. We have the larger version of the plate. We have a bowl. We have, well, the soup bowl. And we got a salad bowl. And we made a spatula. And then we made the small pan, or small pot, and the large pot. So I think it's going pretty well. We only got a couple more to do. We got the small pan, large pan, and the skillet. So, and then after that, I'm not sure. We'll have to see how time is and how much energy I have, I guess. And kind of maybe we can think about other things we're gonna need, because I'm sure we're gonna need more pixel art sometime soon. But getting the icons is kind of like the first step. I guess we also have to think about like how we're gonna do the different states, like, because right now it's kind of, this is just like the basic piece, but we also need it for like when it's dirty, when it's got some suds on it for being washed. I guess right now it's kind of like, or maybe we can have like a little effect or something for when it's clean. So we'll have to see. Maybe we can do a little bit of some shortcuts for now, for these types of things, and then we'll get to working more on trying to get that sort of more fine-tuned later. We got to get like the basics down. And clearly the basics include exactly 17 types of dishes. Clearly. But it is fun though. Okay, so let's get to work on this small pan. Oh, another thing we talked about during the stream before you got back was trying to like almost color code some of these things so that it's easier for the player to know what type of the scrubber to use based on kind of like in the back of their mind knowing like the kind of color coding it so that like the darker stuff you need to use the heavier steel stuff, and then stuff like the glassware, if you notice, it's all kind of the same color for these. So it makes it a little easier to kind of pick out for that sort of thing. It's just a neat thing I tried to work in while I was trying to think of it. Alright, so we need pans. So let's just think about how we want to do that. I'm thinking kind of like frying pans, but I just wanted to try and figure out which angle would be best to work with them. Probably flat like the other ones. So maybe something like that maybe, and then we'll kind of do something similar to what we did before. We'll just kind of adjust this a little bit, or just Yeah, something like that, I think. And then we need a handle. Which way do we want to point that, though? We want to try and make use of our space effectively. So maybe without kind of like sacrificing the you know, we want to make sure we're keeping the perspective kind of lined up the way you'd expect. So maybe something like diagonally almost. I wanted... Well, okay. Let's try doing it kind of up and down and see how that goes. So let's center that, and then we'll just kind of move that up a little bit. And then we'll do a little thing for the handle. That's a little wide, actually. Well, you know what we can do? Let's just do it like that. Oops. And we'll just kind of shift this up a little. Again. Then I have something like that. Oh, you know what we need over here? Just thought of this. Aha, a little... maybe just something like that. Because items like this have something where you can hook them onto... I guess that's fine. It just occurred to me, like, it usually has something where you can hook it onto something. So we could have that like that. And then for this one, oh, we need something other than something like that, maybe. Alright, so let's take this, do that same little, whoops. Do that same little thing here. And we'll do the same kind of color coding. Hard to see me drawing here, but that's okay. Alright, and actually we could probably see the bottom of this too, so maybe we can take a little of that and just do something for the bottom part. Maybe something like that. Because I think it's usually lighter. Maybe we kind of want this color for the handle, I think. Unless we want it even darker than that. Something like that, maybe. That might be too dark. Oh, whoops. I don't think I used... Did I use that color? Oh, wow. I didn't. That's interesting. So maybe we'll... Because I just forgot or something. Maybe just we'll do a couple accent marks. And we'll do something like that. Is that too long of a handle though? What happens if we just shift it up like that? I don't know. I also kind of just realized that like these plates are, and you know, the plates and the silverware are the only real items that you are kind of viewing at that just like right at you kind of perspective instead of like at an angle like you'd have with something like this. I don't know if that looks right. This part's just throwing me off a bit. What happens if we just... Alright, so here's what we're gonna do. I think we're just gonna take this and kind of cancel that stuff out. Or erase it. I guess that's an easier way to say that. Try doing that at a bit of a different angle. So maybe we'll try doing it diagonally like I had said and see how that kind of works. So maybe we'll have it something like this. Oops. That doesn't look too bad, I think. Maybe we'll shift this a little bit more to the right, though. Actually, hold on. let's keep doing that. I don't want to make it like too big for this handle, just because I'm gonna have a larger version of this. So I want to make sure there's room for that. Yeah, that perspective's a little bit weird. Maybe we'll try... do... Whoops. Yeah. Something like this, maybe? Alright, I think we're getting a little closer. But even then, it's not really... It's kind of just this perspective that's throwing me off, I think. Because what are we going to do for the larger one if we do it like this, though? Because if we have it at this sort of angle, the large pan's going to be bigger, and it's going to take up more screen space, and it's going to make it a little tougher here, because we're not going to be able to fit that on there if we do it at this sort of angle. But I also want it to look good, you know? So it's kind of a little tricky there. And I don't think we can really do like a head-on perspective. Maybe what we need to do is... I was going to finish that thought, but then another thought popped into my head. So what I was going to say is maybe we'll go and do the bigger one first, the larger pan, and then use the same technique on the small pan. But I think what I'm going to try and do is, because I like this sort of angle on this, but I think maybe what I can do is just take that chunk and kind of use the same sort of technique, just rotating it around here, and so having something kind of like at an angle this way, using the same type of thing we did over here. So let's see if that'll work. So something like and then we'll have Something like this, maybe? And... it's not going to be an exact rotation, but I think it'll be helpful. Maybe we can even just take this. Or not. This is a tricky one. Definitely this angle has thrown me off. It kind of just looks like it's going down at an angle, and I don't want that. This is a puzzle. What if we tried doing it like a little curved for the handle? Like maybe... some room here. So maybe do something like okay. This is looking good. I think I like where this is heading. So maybe we'll do this one more. How does this work? Oh, okay. So let's just take this. And just be very careful on how we do this. And then maybe we can use some of this for like little highlights here. I think this is good. Maybe just a little some of that. Okay. Does look a little odd. But I think it's gonna look a little odd no matter how we do it. So I think that'll be... I think that's gonna be as good as we're gonna get for that. So I'm okay with that. Alright. Wow, that one sprite took a while. Okay, let's do... let's center that. Cool. And let's do the larger version of this. So let's just do a larger circle. Maybe something like that. And then maybe, I don't want it to be any like less deep. Okay, good. That is about as deep as what the other one was. Actually, it's not as larger as I was expecting. I think that's 1 pixel larger. That's not going to do it. We want more pixels. Let's do a different color here. Just kind of do this right on top, and then we'll change the colors in a little bit. Okay. So let's just get rid of all that. I'll do this. And paint all pixels of the same color. Bam. Okay. So let's do that same sort of thing as we did before. And I'll fix that in a sec. want the shadow too. Okay, now we just gotta... I got an idea. We'll just take this and we'll just copy and paste it. All right. Copy that. And okay, that's, whoop. So I think what we want to do is we want to move this a little more to the right and change its shape ever so slightly. So we're just gonna move that a couple pixels here and fix this. I think what we want to do is we want to make this a little longer. Maybe. I'm wondering, did we... I don't think we touched the edge of the 32 pixels in any of these. I think that's a little intentional. I want to make sure these are kind of, you know, different from each other. Because especially if you're playing a game and this thing is like that big, are you gonna be able to tell which one of these is which just by like looking at them? I don't know. So maybe what we'll do is this gonna be that centered? I guess so. Maybe we'll flip this. Whoop, that's not what I wanted. Okay, maybe we'll flip that and make it a little easier to think about. And at the very least, it'll be easier to tell a difference between them if one's facing one direction and one's facing another way. All right. I think that's pretty good. Oh, actually, you know what else we could do? Let's take this, move that up a little, make it a little bit what's the word? A little bit kind of filling in the gaps here. Might have to adjust this a little bit. So like, alright, I'm gonna do this in red, make it a little easier. And then we'll just kind of fix it as we go. Oop, hold on. Okay, so I think now put this in. I think I like having that like that. Okay. So if we were to flip this back, kind of zoom out a bit. I still don't know if I'd be able to tell the difference between them if they were, if they were looking at the same direction. So I think we're gonna go ahead and flip this back. Center that. Yeah, because if we we'll make it a little bit easier. Do it like that. Whew. Okay. You know what? The more I think about it, the more I think that maybe we don't need a skillet. Because if it's going to be hard to tell even the like large and small ones apart, I think we can probably cut the skillet here. So maybe we'll just do a little star there. So that leaves us with 16, which is still pretty good. In fact, maybe we'll just put that down there. So I think that's gonna be good. So what we'll do, we'll take this, save it, Oops, actually, hold on. Oh, yeah, that's fine. And then we're going to export this. 4 columns, 4 rows. That seems good. All right, so let's take a look at how this sheet looks. Where is that file? Okay, so let me, I think if I just, there we go. Look at that. That looks pretty good. Yeah, I like the way that looks. That's awesome. So we got 16 dish types. We got some different difficulties, and they all look about the right size, all things considered. Handles still look a little weird, but I'll take it. I think this is good progress for today. All right, so now that we have this sort of stuff taken care of, I think this is about a good point to kind of end things off on. So, oh, actually, before we do, we need to come up with a good idea of what to do for next time. So, I think. So, all right, so we got like the standard version of each of these dishes. I think for it being like the clean version, like the super 100% clean version, we're just going to add like a little sparkle GIF thing and kind of put it on top of some of these other sprites to indicate that yes, it's completely clean. And for the dirty dishes, that might be something we have to kind of look at pixel art again for. I think for it like being sudsy, we can add a little kind of like overlay type thing for that. So maybe we'll get some of that stuff done. I really want to make sure. Oh man, I'm getting really tired. I really want to make sure I can get the menu system working, so maybe that's something we'll do tomorrow, or maybe some sprite work. Not 100% sure, but it's gonna be one of those. Because now that we have some of these sprites, it'll make it a little easier to kind of think about making more progress in this sort of, in different areas, I mean. Okay, so I think that's going to kind of wrap things up for tonight. So thank you guys for watching. Hopefully this was, kind of a nice stream to watch along. I mean, like, yeah, I'm just drawing pixels on a screen, but I think it's kind of nice to have like a little bit of relaxing stuff every once in a while. Not everything has to be exciting. Alright, so yeah, next time we're going to do a little more game progress, hopefully tomorrow evening. And I will keep you guys posted on that on my Twitter. So, yeah, I will see you guys next time. Take care.